The year is 950 AD. A harsh wind howls across the lava fields of Iceland. A young boy, Erik, grows up in the shadow of his father, Thorvald Asvaldsson. Thorvald is a troubled man, an outlaw forced to flee Norway for the unforgiving shores of Iceland. Life in Iceland is brutal, a constant struggle against the elements. Families carve out a living from the volcanic soil, raising sheep and relying on the bounty of the sea. Erik, like other boys, learns the skills he needs to survive, farming, seafaring, and fighting. But Erik is different. He has a fiery temper, a thirst for adventure that burns hotter than the geothermal vents that dot the Icelandic landscape. This untamed spirit will shape his destiny, leading him to confront both man and nature. His father's outlaw status casts a long shadow. Erik inherits not only Thorvald's red hair, but also his volatile nature and his outsider status. This legacy will both haunt and propel Erik throughout his life. In Iceland, Erik married Theodild Jóransdóttir, and together they had 4 children: Leif, Thorvald, Thorstein, and Freydis. Theodild played a significant role in maintaining the household, while Erik focused on external affairs. Their son, Leif Erikson, would later become a legendary explorer, credited with reaching North America long before Columbus. The family was deeply rooted in Norse traditions, with a strong emphasis on exploration and resilience. Iceland, despite its harsh beauty, is a land of law. The Althing, a gathering of chieftains, meets each summer to settle disputes and maintain order. But blood feuds, fueled by ancient grudges and simmering resentments, often erupt into violence. Erik, now a young man, inherits his father's enemies. He clashes with neighboring farmers, his fiery temper easily ignited. A series of violent confrontations culminates in bloodshed, staining Erik's hands and sealing his fate. The Althing, with its strict laws of retribution, declares Erik an outlaw. Banished from Icelandic society, facing certain death if he remains, he must find a new home, a new destiny. For 3 years, Erik seeks refuge with his loyal followers, living on the edge of Icelandic society. But the threat of his enemies remains. He knows he cannot stay. He must find a new land, a place where he can start anew. Legends whisper of a land west of Iceland, a land shrouded in mist and ice. Gunnbjörn Ulfsson, a seasoned sailor, claimed to have sighted this mysterious island decades earlier. Could this be Erik's salvation, a refuge from his enemies and a chance to forge a new life? Greenland, as it would later be called, is a land of stark beauty and unforgiving conditions. Glaciers grind their way across the landscape, while fjords cut deep into the coastline. It is a land that tests the limits of human endurance. Erik, undeterred by the dangers, sees something else: potential. He envisions a land where he can establish a new home for himself and his followers, a land free from the constraints of Icelandic society. The decision is made. Erik will lead an expedition west into the unknown.